Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where, as I hinted at last week, we've had a lot of recommendations to try a new puzzle by Playmaker6174 called Rod of Eternal Coherence. Some of these Sudokus nowadays have brilliant names, they really do. I don't know what a Rod of Eternal Coherence is. It sounds like something you'd find in Dungeons and Dragons. And I don't know if maybe you could get one of these in Diablo or something. Maybe, yeah, okay. So maybe this is the rod thing, isn't it? With a green thing here and then a red top. Yeah, but this puzzle apparently is wonderful. I snipped some comments on it. Let's just have a quick look at these. Madhaupt says a magnificent puzzle, not easy but great fun. There were several aha moments. Thanks for sharing this masterpiece. And what did someone said that you were an utter... This is it, Calvin Ball. Yet again, proving to the world you are an utter maniac. And I appreciate you for it. Wonderful puzzle, mate. And then Mr. Menace, a great puzzle that squeezes every bit of logic from every clue. What a masterpiece. So I think we're in for an absolute treat. As I say, we've had lots of recommendations to try this one. I think it's got 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty, so it might be quite a challenge. But I'll read you the rules in a moment or two's time. Now, what else did I want to mention? Actually, I'm going to make a quick appeal. I don't do this too often, but if you do enjoy the channel, please do consider subscribing. Mark and I have been looking at our statistics, and it does seem that a lot of people watch regularly who aren't subscribed, and so the algorithm doesn't really... it underrates how wonderful these variant Sudoku puzzles are. So if you do enjoy, please do subscribe. It's free, obviously, to subscribe to a YouTube channel. You just click the subscribe thing, and that just teaches the algorithm that more people want to watch these videos than perhaps it realized. And you can even click the bell icon, and I think the bell icon alerts you to everything we do. And I think if you just hit the subscribe button, it will recommend some of our videos rather than all of our videos. I think that's the difference, but forgive me if I've got that wrong. Other than that, we've got a competition running at the moment. Still 1 week to go for our competition over on Patreon. Have I got a picture? I think I've got a picture. I don't think I've got the league table today. This is the Regeneration worm, the regeneration of Sudoku worms. You can see each puzzle you solve, you sort of get a little bit of help for the next puzzle. Hundreds and hundreds of you have managed to solve the entire thing already, so there's still plenty of time, even if you've not started it yet. We think you will enjoy it. People who have solved it have enjoyed it, so do check it out. And I've got birthdays to do, so let me look at my list of birthdays. We'll start off with Elise. Elise, your partner James wrote in and thought that you might appreciate a shout out. I hope that's true. I hope it's true. And he wanted to wish you a happy birthday filled with happiness, presents, and especially cake. So I think, Elise, you're in for a good one, and many happy returns. I hope that cake is properly iced, 1-to-1 ratio, of course, of frosting, to use the American term, to the actual cake part, which is far less important. And then also, Lucy, it's your birthday today. And I know this because your husband Patrick wrote to us. I think the two of you have been married for just over a year. And actually, Lucy, I'm not sure you even like variant Sudoku. But you have watched the solve that Mark did of one of Patrick's puzzles, a puzzle called Negative Gifts. So that, I mean, that's true love, I think, if you will put up with watching a variant Sudoku video for whatever purpose. But Patrick wanted us to tell you, Lucy, that he loves you very much. And it reminds me of the I think it was one of the longest videos we'd ever put on the channel. It was like a 4-hour video of me doing battle with some icy fruit thing, and the top comment was somebody who'd written and said something like, I watched the entirety of the Twilight Saga with my wife on the condition that one day she would watch something of my choosing without complaint. Today's the day. And he was going to make his wife watch a 4-hour Sudoku video, which was very funny. But I did feel a bit sorry for her. But maybe she's been converted. I do not know. Anyway, let's have a look at the Rod of Eternal Coherence by Playmaker6174. The rules are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules applying. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits within a cage sum to the small number written in the top left of that cage. So those 3 sum to 8, those 3 to 21, those to 12, and those to 12. Double arrow, so that must be this thing. The sum of the digits along the red line that has 2 circles as its endpoints must equal the sum of the 2 digits in both circles. It's possible that digits can repeat along a line if allowed by other rules. So what we do is we add those 2 together. So actually they could be the same digit. So let's make both of those 6. Actually, that could actually end up being... No, it couldn't be correct. No, it couldn't be. Let's make them 7. So if these were 7s, 7 and 7 is 14. And then we'd have to make those cells sum to 14, which I think we could do. If these were 1, 2, 3, and 4, and these were 1 and 3 or something like that, that might work. And if it does turn out to be that that's the case, I'm sorry, that's serendipity. And I hope I haven't spoiled the puzzle for anybody. Now, German Whisper. Along the green line, 2 adjacent digits have a difference of at least 5. So if this digit is a 1, this must be at least a 6 in order to be sufficiently different from the digit 1. Palindrome. We had a palindrome with Satermath the other day. Along the grey palindrome line, digits form a sequence that reads the same from either direction. So if this was 1, 2, 3, actually it can't be this, but no, let's not worry about the niceties. In fact, this is so wrong, it's almost painful to look at. But imagine the palindrome did go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Then it would be palindromic, because if we read it starting here, it reads 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. And if we read it starting here, it reads exactly the same, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So it reads the same in either direction, and it is palindromic. Next, modular. Along each, this must be the colour teal. Along each teal line, the set of 3 sequential cells must contain 1 digit from the set 147, 1 digit from the set 258, and 1 digit from the set 369. And one way of thinking about those, if you've never thought about them before, there's 2 ways of thinking about them actually. You can look at your number pad on your keyboard, and it's a vertical stripe. 147, 258, 369. The other way of thinking about it, which is actually, I suppose, is the more natural way that I think about it, is that each of these sets has a different remainder when divided by 3. So the 369 set all divide exactly by 3. The 147 set all have a remainder of 1 when divided by 3, and the 258 set all have a remainder of 2 when divided by 3. So that's another way of thinking about modular lines. And then we've got crop key. We've got different types of crop keys. Look, 2 digits connected by a black dot have a 1:2 ratio relationship, while 2 digits connected by a white dot have a difference of 1. Not all black dots and white dots are given. So what does this mean if we were sort of to demathematicalize that instruction? What it means is that on a black dot, 1 digit is double the other. So if this was 2, that could be 4, because 4 is double 2, or it could be 1, because 2 is double 1. Either of those things would be perfectly possible. Now, if this is 2 on a white dot, this digit must be 1, because 2 is consecutive with 1, or 3, because 3 is consecutive with 2. So either of those possibilities exist, and the line about not all black dots and white dots are given means it's absolutely possible that this domino here could obey a black or a white dot relationship. Just because there's no black dot or white dot doesn't matter. We're only being told positive information about these 2 particular dominoes. We're being told nothing about the rest of the grid. So we can't assume if this was a 2, you can't assume that this couldn't be a 4. It absolutely could be a 4. It's only these dominoes that we know specific things apply to. Anyway, that's all the news. Not all the news, it's all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play let's get cracking. And luckily there's enough grid furniture here that I can see some things we can start to think about. An 8 cage must contain a 1 in 3 cells. It's either going to be 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 5. And in fact, I can actually get rid of the 1 from here, because a 1 here would pop a 1 on the palindrome into a 21 cage. And the 21 cage can't possibly have a 1 in it, even if it was accompanied by the biggest old Sudoku digits, 9 and 8. They only add up to 17. So 1 is in one of those. So that digit, I suppose it might be worth doing. Yeah, it is worth doing that actually, isn't it? Because that digit now, because this is either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4, this digit has a few options, but it doesn't actually. It can't be a 2 or 3. Because if this is 2 or 3, we still can't get to 21. So this is either 4 with an 8-9 pair, or 5 with a 7-9 pair. And now there is definitely a 9 in the 21 cage, which there didn't need to be. It could have been 6, 7, 8 until we got this digit restricted. And then here, oh, okay, so we could, I was going to say it has to have a 2 in it. It doesn't actually. It could be 4 with a 1, 3 pair, or 5 with a 1, 2 pair. All right, well that's still a start, isn't it? And that doesn't even exhaust the things I'd instantly sort of grokked as we were almost doing the instructions. 12 cages in 4 cells are quite interesting creatures, because there's only 2 ways of constituting them. Because the digits all have to be different, they're either 1, 2, 3, 6, or they're 1, 2, 4, 5. And you'll notice there's a commonality there. They must have 1 and 2 in them. So, yeah. So we've got to be a bit careful here with this box, actually. Because we can see from the nature of this cage... Well, in fact, there's a simple way of thinking about it. Is it possible that the 1 and the 2 that are in this 12 cage are both in column 1? No, because that's going to rule 1 and 2 out of these cells. Actually, I'm wrong, aren't I? No, I'm not. Am I wrong? I might be wrong. There's certainly we can't have 1, 2 there and 1, 2 there, because then this digit would have to contain both of those digits in box 7. Actually, this is more. It is a little bit more constrained than I'd realised. All right, let's try changing tack altogether. These can't. Actually, I'm not even sure that's true. Yeah, no, that's true. Hang on a minute. What's going on here? Well, I don't know. This is really weird, the way my brain is working here. My brain wanted to tell me. And my brain is wrong, I think. My brain is naughty. Yeah, so if 1 and 2 were here, then obviously 1 and 2 can't be here as well, because this cell would have to be 1 and 2. But one of those digits could be there and then would be repeated here. And the other one could be there. So, and what would happen if there was a 2 there and a 1 there? Then there'd be a 2 there and a 1 there. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Goodness me, okay. Alright, I'm going to do this differently then, because my brain's let me down so badly. It needs to be... We're going to sort of, it's like a whiteboard. We're going to erase. We're going to erase everything on the whiteboard and think again. This cell can't be a 1 because of the 8 cage. So this cell can't be a 1 on the palindrome. And now 1 in box 7 is in this L pentomino. And that's going to mean... nearly. I almost had a good idea then. I was trying to think about whether this could be a 1, because I can see if this is a 1, I'm going to get a 1 here and a here in the 12 cages. And then look at my funny, what's this called, a double arrow line. If both of these were 1, that string of digits would have to be at least 2, 3, 4. That doesn't work. Okay, there's a reason that doesn't work. I hadn't spotted this. But I was going to say those 3 have to be at least 2, 3, 4. And each of these little stretches of 2, 3, 4 add up to 9, which would mean these have to be double 9. But in fact, we can't do that, can we? Because these 4 cells in box 3 would all be selected from just 3 different numbers. So we can't have that situation. So this can't be a 1 in the corner. It's impossible. So 1 is in this domino or this domino, and it's going to force a 1. This is a superb puzzle already, because it's weird the way it's working, but it's fascinating. And it's sort of symmetrical in a way where I don't quite know what to do with it, if you see what I mean. So I've definitely got a 1 here or here. And wherever that 1 is, it is going to put a 1 into one of those 2 positions. Now, whichever side that happens on, that is going to mean that the 3 cells on the double arrow that are either in, so if this is a 1, those cells, or if this is a 1, those cells, have to add up to at least 9. They would have to be at least 2, 3, 4, wouldn't they? Now, so that means these 2 together add up to at least 15. Because if I had 2, 3, 4 here adding up to 9, the minimum these could be would be 1, 2, 3. And that would put 1 and 2 here. No, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. Yeah, this is really cool. It's all about, right, it's about the whole perimeter, I think. Although I'm not 100% sure. I think it is. There's something going on, because one of these is a 1. Now that's going to mean that one of these is a minimum of, let's say, 2, 3, 4. Well, it does mean 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to put it here for the sake of exposition, because I want to think this through. Now, what you can see from this is that we're hypothesizing this is a 1. And that means the 2 in this 12 cage is here. Now this certainly can't be a 1 for the reasons we've already mentioned. So there is a 1 here. There is a 1 there. If there was a 2 here as well, this would be a 2, this would be a 2, this would be 1, 3, 4. That might do something to the black dot, I'm not sure. Now, how do we do this? I've got to be careful here. So this is a 1, which means there's a 1 here, which means there's a 1. Hang on. This is a 1. Now we've got to decide where we're putting the 1. Let's put 1 there. So this is 1. That creates the 2, 3, 4. Now, this can't be that big. So it's not possible for this to be a 1. So there is a 1 down here as well. But the thing I'm trying to get into my brain is whether there is an issue with 2 on this limb. Because that limb now can have a 1 on it. Can it have, or must it have, a 2 on it? I'm not sure. There's all these things to look at as well, because I'm now noticing if this was 1, 3, 4, The German whisper line would be really constrained for low digits. And what are the lines? The lines they're modular, aren't they, today? So we've got division by 3. So, I mean, 3 digits on a modular line, these 3 cells are themselves divisible by 3, whatever they are, because one of them is from the 147 set, and all of the 147 digits have a 1 remainder. One of them is from the 258 set, and all of those digits have a 2 remainder, and the other digit is from 369 and has a 0 remainder. So when you add a 1 remainder, a 2 remainder and a 0 remainder digit together, which you will be doing for these 3 cells, you're going to get a net remainder of 0 when divided by 3. Now 12 is itself divisible by 3, so these 7 cells of box 1 and these 7 cells of box 9 are divisible by 3. And there's a secret in Sudoku that I share with only my very favourite people, and that secret is that a whole box of a Sudoku sums to 45 because it contains the digits 1 to 9 once each. So that means this domino and this domino must also be divisible by 3. Now what does that mean? I haven't got a Scooby-Doo, but it must mean something. So this digit and this digit are the same. Can that digit be a 2? If that's a 2, that's a 2. Are we doing something weird then with the black dots, or... I'm not sure. This is the short answer. I'm not sure. 9 has to be in one of those cells of box 1. So I suppose we could ask a question about 9 in column 1, couldn't we? It must be in one of those cells. Whoopsie. And that must be the same logic for row 9. And whatever the high digit is here, 7 or 8, that's also not in the 12 cage. So there is so the other digit there is also in these cells. Yeah, but this is a modular, not an entropic line. And we better get rid of this 2, 3, 4. I couldn't quite make that work, could I? Well, although I know these add up to at least, what was it, 15? If we had 2, 3, 4 on one side and 1, 2, 3 on the other, that would be 15. So neither of these can individually be a 5. So these are from 6, 7, 8 and 9. Now, does that do something? Don't think so. Don't think so is the short answer. Right. Okay. I don't know what to do. How do we do this? It feels like, I do feel like it's about the perimeter somehow. But what I'm not able to do... Oh gosh, I've just spotted something beautiful. This puzzle is sick. I love this puzzle. That is what I'm stating. That can't be a 2. Because if it's a 2, this is a 2. And if that's a 2, that's 1, 3, 4. And something I've sort of grokked but hadn't thought about carefully enough is this German whispers line. Now, so on our rod of eternal coherence, let's think about these 2 digits. Now, the first thing we've got to know about a German whispers line is you can't put 5 on it. Because if you do, the next digit's impossible, because it has to be at least 5 different from 5. And if we go up, we get to double-digit numbers, and if we go down, we get to 0 or lower. They aren't Sudokuable. So there's no 5 on a line. And that means every digit on a green line has the property of either being below 5 or being above 5. But crucially, you cannot follow, for example, a 6, 7, 8, 9 with another 6, 7, 8, 9 digit, because these can't be 5 apart. So they have to oscillate. If this is high, this will be low. And when I say low, I mean lower than 5. And that means one of these digits is indisputably a 1, 2, 3 or a 4. And if this was a 2, that can't be true. Because the 8 cage now is 1, 3, 4, and there's no low digit to put on that domino. And I think this is really important actually. Because if this can't be 2, this can't be 2, and now 2 in this box is in one of these cells, and wherever it is, it's going to, well, it can't be here, because that would make both of these squares a 2, and we've already know that one of those blue cells is a 1. So actually we've got the same logic, and the point that I thought I would be able to start with and couldn't, I can now get to, which is that these cells, I believe, are a 1, 2 pair. Because if this is 1, the 1 in this 12 cage has to be here, so we cannot put 2 here as well, because that would have to be simultaneously a 2 as 2. So the 2 would have to go here, which pushes this to be a 2. So these are a 1, 2 pair, and they are different. Let's do that with them. But now, in fact, what we'll do, without knowing what, in fact, I'll change colour altogether. I'll make one of them purple and one of them green. Now, purple now is in one of those, isn't it? So purple is in one of these. Green is in one of these. So green is in one of those. But also, can't we do better now on this double arrow thing? Because let's say the purple was a 1. The minimum value of this is 2, 3, 4. But if this is a 1, this will be a 2. So the minimum value of that will be 1, 3, 4. And now 1, 3, 4 is 8. 2, 3, 4 is 9. Which means that these add up to at least 17. So they have to be either an 8 and a 9 if they're different, or they're double 9. And if they're double 9, hang on, let me just think about that. If they're double 9, could you do 2, 3, 5 and then 1, 3, 4? Maybe. Okay, I don't know. Maybe you can do that. And you can probably do 2, 3, 4 and then 1, 3, 5 or something like that, and make both of these add up to 9 in different ways. Okay, so I've got to be... I'm not sure. One of these is a 9. That's definitely true. They are at least... They cannot be only equal to double 8, because that would only be 16, and I know they add up to at least 17 now. Right. What does that mean? The corner digit can't be a 1 or a 2 because it sees both flavours. So I have no idea what I'm meant to do next. Alright, here's something. If both of these 12 cages were 1, 2, 3, 6, that would not work. Because you'd have a 3, 6 here and a 3, 6 here, and you couldn't put 3 and 6 into this cell. So at least one of these is 1, 2, 4, 5. Now, can they both be 1, 2, 4, 5? Then we'd have 4, 5 here, 4, 5 here. This would be 4 or 5. This would be 4 or 5. I don't know. Maybe you can have that. But, okay. So this digit in the corner, which is going to get reflected on the palindrome, is not 1, 2. And it's not 4 or 5, because at least one of these has a 4, 5 pair in it. It might be able to be 3 in the corner, 4, 5. It might be able to be 6, if the other one isn't 3, 6. or it's 7 or 8. So it's 3, 6, 7 or 8 going up here. If it was 8, these would have to be double 9. Which would, I mean, it would be a little bit interesting. Wow. Oh, maybe you can't. If this was 3, then this would be a 1, 2, 5 triple. And the only low digit you could put in here would be 4. So you get 4 surrounded by double 9. Oh, but that wouldn't necessarily... It would certainly knock 9 out of one of these, but maybe not both. So maybe that could still survive. Okay, so that doesn't quite do it. We know these are the same, but I don't think these are under the same pressures. Let's just double check that. I mean, it's a horrible pencil mark. No, this doesn't see 4s and 5s, so I think this has got loads of options. So where do I... Okay, so where do I think... Where do I think that the issue is here? That's the question. Is it... I don't know. I'm not sure. It's probably the double arrow somehow. Maybe there's a reason these are. If these were the same, where would that digit go? It would have to go in one of those two in box 3. Oh, that's it. It's that simple. Well, it certainly isn't simple. Imagine these. This is beautiful though. This is a huge point. If these were double 9, where do you put that digit in this box? And the answer is there on the palindrome. It's the only place it could go if these are double 9. But it can't go there because that puts 9 there, and I know there's a 9 in my 21 cage. So this is a 9-8 pair, and that is not an 8 because it sees an 8 in one of those cells. So that is not 8 in the corner. Now, the constitution of the double arrow is entirely forced. Because in one direction, it's Harry Styles, doesn't it? In the sense that if this is a 1, that has to be 2, 3, 4 now. And this will be a 2, so this would have to be 1, 3, 4. And the alternative is that this is 1, so this is 2, 3, 4. And this is 2, so this is 1, 3, 4. So in both row 1 and column 9, there is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, which means those corner digits are not 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is an 8-9 pair. I'm definitely shading those. Just going to give them 2 different colours so I remind myself of that. So the purple digit now is in one of those, and the green digit is in one of those. And the corner digits are now 5s and 6s. I'm not saying they're different, but they have to be. They can't be 1, 2, 3 or 4, but they have to be suitable for fitting in a 4-cell 12 cage. So they can't be 7, because 7 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 13. They are, if you like, the high digit in their 12 cage. It's either a 5 with a 1, 2, 4, or it's a 6 with a 1, 2, 3. So the corner... No, that's not true. Depends whether these are the same or not. If these are different, then this would be a 7 and that would be a 7. Because one of these would be a 3, 6. Oh, come on. This must be somehow relevant, mustn't it? But how? I don't know. No, I don't know. No, I don't know. I've still got no digit. I've got no digits in the puzzle. That's a slightly terrifying thought. Good grief. I mean, what is it that I'm meant to see now? I know what Mark would do. Mark would label all these cells with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but I'm really reluctant to do that. That feels a slightly terrifying thing to do. Why? I've got 9s here, I've got 9s here. If this is 4, this is an 8-9 pair, isn't it? Which would relate to the colouring up here. But if this is 5, this is a 7-9 pair. And I don't think that would relate to anything. Good grief, I don't know what to do. Oh, okay, maybe it's not the fact I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. Oh, wait a second, maybe it is. Oh, well, yeah, here's an idea. Right, this 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in box 3 has to have a purple digit in it. Where does that go? There is the answer. Now, this 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple has to have a green digit in it. Where does that go? Well, not there, so it must be here. And now I've got 1 and 2 looking at this cell and this cell. So these are 3. Yeah, they're different. They're different. They have to be different because imagine these were both 3. Then 3 couldn't appear in my quadruple here. So these are different. Right, so this middle digit, this is ridiculous. This middle digit now, which I'm going to label this one here, can't be 3 because it sees a 3 in one of those two. So that is a something. I almost thought I had an idea there, but I don't think it works, my idea. How? Because what I was noticing, I don't think it works. I'm not sure. I might even be wrong about this. So that digit is there, isn't it? That is a red purple, and that is a lime green green. What I was thinking about, I will tell you what it is in case the process of telling you about it makes me think about it in a way that makes it all clear. One of these is a 9. And one of these is a 3. Now imagine if the 3 and the 9 were in the same alignment. So imagine this was a 9-3 pair. Well then we've got an interesting situation on this modular line which would need to have a 369 digit on it. That's one of the modularities. And that would have to be 6. And that would make 7 go into this cell. And that would be very beautiful. But I don't think it's necessary, because imagine instead that this is 9-4. Now if this is 9-4, the possible low digits here are 3 or 6. So let's say we're trying to avoid, I'm trying to think of situations where this isn't forced to be 7. So let's say that it's 3. So this is 3. That's 4. This is 9. So this is 8-3 in this direction. and then this would have to have 9 on it in order to not have 6 on it to force this to be high. And that works, doesn't it? I think. So until and unless I can work out why one of these has to be 3, 9 or one of these has to be 4, 8, I don't think the logic I was hoping works in those paradigms. I don't think so. Which is, of course, a reason to say bobbins. It's true to say one of these is a 9. So it's definitely true to say that one of these modular lines has to contain 3 or 6 as opposed to 9. Now if that was this one, this couldn't be a 3-6 pair. I'm just realising I have to go. I've got 9 minutes before I have to go and collect 2 little ones. So maybe I've underestimated the difficulty of this one. But we're certainly not dead yet, are we? We have not been quite defeated. Right, this is an 8-9 pair. So this is a 5-6 or a 7 by Sudoku. Because it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, and it can't be 8, 9. So that's 5, 6, or 7. This digit in this box is either there, which would put it here and give me a lovely 7, 8, 9 triple, or it's here, which would give me an 8, 9 pair in the column. Or is it something to do with this 3, 4 thing that I've spotted? Is that in any way useful? One of these is a 3. If this is 6... Oh, if that's 6, you know, that's 6. So these would both have to be 1, 2, 4, 5 variation. This would be a 4 or a 5. This would be a 4 or a 5. Let's just write 6 in here and stare at it for a moment. One of these is a 3. Do we know? Can we relate? I don't think we can. Oh, actually, I don't know. I'm not sure whether if this was 1, this is 2, 3, 4. And this would be 2, and this would be 1, 3, 4. I don't think there's a way of determining whether the 3 and the 4 have to be associated with a particular number here, is there? I think that is ambiguous. Yeah. I was wondering if there was a way I could force one of these dominoes to be either 3, 9 or 4, 8. But I don't think there is. Probably famous last words. Maybe there's... Oh, maybe that's a point. I've got this modular line here. If this was 1, 2, 3, 6, this modular line couldn't have 3 or 6 on it, but would need to have one of the 3, 6, 9 modularity, so it would have to have 9 on it. And if it was 1, 2, 4, 5... oh, I see. It would have to have... Then this line couldn't... It would have to have 7 and 8 on it. But one of these must have 7 and 8 on it. Because one of these, at least, is 1, 2, 4, 5. So one of these lines has 7 and 8 on it. Do we care? It's got 7 and 8 on it, and then one digit from 3, 6, 9. I'm not sure. I can't quite see if that's doing anything. Do I know anything about the black dot? I feel the black dot's more likely to be of use than the white dot. Black dot digits. Maybe we can rule out 1, 2 or something like that. If this was 1, 2, this would be 3, 4, 1. This would be a 1. Actually, that seems fine, doesn't it? If this is 2, 4, that would be 5. So this would be 5, 1, 2 is how that would look. Three, 6 would put some pressure on this. 4, 8. 4, 8 would also make this 5, 1, 2. Oh no, that's not even true. Careful, Simon. If this was 4, 8, then there would be an 8 in one of those, an 8 here. So this would be 7, 9, and this would be a 5. 4, 8. This would be a 5 with a 1, 2 pair. That's probably okay. Okay, so that's not how to do it either. Let's try. How long I've still got 5 minutes. I'm still... Ideally, I think it's fairly clear. I'm not going to finish this in 5 minutes. But if at least I can get over a hurdle in 5 minutes, I won't feel so bad about leaving the puzzle. So... It can't be the white. It just can't be the white dot. It could be. I don't know. I've got to have a low digit in one of those cells. And that low digit is 2, 3 or 4, isn't it? Because it's not 1. 1 is definitely there. So there's a 2, 3 or a 4 in one of these cells. And if it's 3 or 4, it's going to have a relationship with these digits. So if it was 3 or 4, let's say it was that one, would have to go here. And then these would have to be from 8 and 9. Possibly double 9. Which, I don't know, again, that might be possible. I do wonder whether there's something going on with these modular lines. It was my first thought when I saw that 3, 9 would be possible here, and the fact is, if this is 6, it just feels difficult to me. 3 would have to be on one of these then. Would we care? Yeah, maybe. Let's just think that through. So if this is 6, whichever one of these is 9, let's make it this one. That forces this to have a 3 on it, doesn't it? That forces this to be 3, and this is going to be 8. So this has now. This is what we did before. This is okay. This is okay. Oh no, that's not okay. Oh my goodness, that is not okay. Oh, this is even sicker than I'd realised. Wow. Okay, I can now see it. Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I've got it, and it's easy, and I'm so thick. That's all I can say. I'm so thick, it's unbelievable. I hang my head in shame. But I have got out of my problem. Let me explain. 9 can't go here because of the palindrome. So 9, because it would put a 9 here and it would clash. So the 9 is in one of those cells, and that's all we needed to force this digit. Because it means that whichever one of these is 3, it doesn't matter whether it has 9 next to it, because if it doesn't have 9 next to it, it'll have 9 in its row through the mechanism of how the digit will interact in box 5. If this is 3 and this is 9, obviously 6 has to be on here. If this is 3 and this is 8, then 9 is here and there's a 9 here by Sudoku. So again, the digit, the 369 digit you have to put on here is 6. So this is always 7, and that's always 7. Oh, this is going to go, and I've got to go. 50 minutes in. I will be back in quite some time, I think, but I'll leave the camera running, and then we'll come back to it in a minute. Oh, fantastic! Whew. Right, I'm back. Okay, I should have probably just caught my breath. What were we doing? It's about an hour later, and oh, I got the 7. That was the exciting. Yeah, that was the exciting thing. Now, why was that exciting? What was that? It was, yes, okay. So I got 9 as being in these positions, and oh yeah, that's right. So now, because we've got 7 in here, this is adding up. These two add up to 17. So this must be a 4 by mathematics. So this is a 4, and that means this is a 1-3 pair to make my 8 cage work. This black dot doesn't have 4 on it. So it's either a 1-2 pair or a 3-6 pair, which is possibly useful. Oh, I tell you something as well. We need a low digit on the whisper, don't we? And that now has to be 2. And 2 is going to be next to 8 or 9. Because it can't be next to 7, and it certainly can't be next to 6. Now, is that good enough for us to crack this open? So if this was, whether this is 1 or 3, there's sort of a 1-3 virtual pair in this sequence, isn't there? Because if this is 1, this is a 3-6, and if this is 3, this is a 1-2. So I wonder whether, okay, 8 in column 1 now, because there's an 8 in this domino, must be in one of those 3 cells. And that logic must also apply in row 9, mustn't it? Because there is a lot of symmetry around the positive diagonal here. So how do we do this? Let me think about it. I'm not quite sure still. I've got all these 1-2 pairs everywhere, and I still don't know which of these is. I suppose if that was 1-2, I would know this was 2, but if this is 3-6, this is 1, this is 3. Is that going to be a problem or not? Or perhaps what I'm meant to be able to do now is to deduce, because I know that there's a 6 on one of these, but which one? And do we know more about what this digit is? This is probably worth, yeah, this is worth thinking about now, isn't it? Because it sees all the low digits. So this is either 5, 6, 8 or 9, but it's not 8 or 9 because it gets transposed into this box. So this is 5 or 6. And that, I feel like I must be able to deduce something from that. Okay. Well, yes, that is interesting, actually, because now my blue digit not being here, yeah, I think this has been available for a while, and my orange digit must be here. So we can't have 8 or 9 in either of those positions, and we have an 8-9 pair in boxes 4 and 8. Which, oh, it's so nearly interesting now in terms of, so the even digit, every white dot is a consecutive pair of digits. And a consecutive pair of digits must always include an even digit. And this one can't have 8 or 4 on it. So it's either 2 with a 1, 3, 2 with a 1 or a 3, and that would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, or it's 6 with 5 or 7. Oh, that's an unpleasant pencil mark, isn't it? It's too unpleasant. We can't do that. This either has 2 or 6 on it. Let's just try and remember. And there is a 7, 8, 9 triple here. So that both of these modular lines are choosing from a digit like 1 and 4, a digit like 2 and 5, and a digit like 3 and 6. Oh, that's, yes, okay, so it's here. This is where, yeah, I see it. Right, because I've now pinpointed virtual 8, 9 pairs into this sort of scissors arrangement, because this can contain neither 8 nor 9, but crucially not 9, the digit it's got from the 3, 6, 9 modularity is 3 or 6, and therefore this cannot be a 3, 6, 5. This is ridiculous. It's so intricate. So that's 3 and that's 1. And now this modular line cannot have the digit it's got to have from 147 is 4, definitely, and actually we know that that's in one of those two places. And the digit it's got to have from 258 is 5, definitely. Don't think I can do that. And then it's got 1 of 3 and 6 on it as well. So it is just made up from 3, 4, 5, 6, which means that's a quadruple in the row with this cell. 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 8, 9 into. So this square is 2, 8, or 9. Now, does that feel right? I mean, it feels right from a Sudoku perspective, and 1 has to be there in row 4. That does look correct, doesn't it? In terms of just what we've got in the grid. So this is a 2, 8, 9 triple, and this square has to be a 5 or a 6, and therefore this square is not able to be the 2, because we know there must be a blue digit down here. So this is not 2, so this is 2, and now these digits are the sort of definitive blue and orange digits, and this is a 5, 6 pair, and these digits they include a 7 by Sudoku. So there's a 7 over here. Now this being 2 means that this is a high digit and is 7, 8 or 9. And it's not that one or that one, which are the same. Oh, actually, look, we can do orangification down at the bottom. So let's do that. Oh, that's it. Well, there we go. Simple as that. That's now a 7. Which means, oh, well, now there's a 7 on my white dot. So we know it's 6, 7, because it's got to have an even digit with that. Okay. So that's splendid. And now the 369 modularity digit on this modular line is 3. Because we've got, it can't be 9 and it can't be 6. And that means the red digit is 4. So that lime digit is 3. And that's probably important. Let's hope it is. That's definitely not a 1. Oh, I thought that would do a lot more, I have to say. Oh, sorry if you can all... There's a 3 in one of those by Sudoku, not in the top cell, because obviously we've got these weird 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruples in rows 1 and column, well, row 1 and column 9. Oh, we can do some more colouring over here. So that's blue, that's orange. So orange is in one of those. Orange can't be next to blue on a... This digit has to be low. It's got to be 2 or 4 from a Whisper's perspective. And unfortunately, I think it can be be either. If that was 4, this would be 9. If it's 2, then there's no pressure on this, although it would make that a 3. Wow, okay. Right, this line needs to have a digit from the 147 modularity on it, and that seems to have to be 1 now. So there's a 1 up there, we know it can't be in the top row. So this is a 1. This is no longer a 1. This is no longer a 1. Oh, we must be near now. And then this line needs a 258 digit, which is not 8. So it's 2 or 5. Okay, 2513. 2513. And this digit. Oh no, be careful, be careful. We don't know about this digit. We know it's not 1 or 2. That's just Sudoku, because we've got a green and a purple looking at it. But I don't think we know whether it's 3 or 5. Obviously, whatever the nature is of this 12 cage will determine this digit. Because if this is 3, 6, this will be a 5. And then that... Oh, these would be 3, 5. Hang on, that wouldn't work. Am I going crazy there? If this was 3, 5... If 3, 5 and 6 were in these cells... So what I'm saying is... I might have got this wrong, but if this 12 cage is 1, 2, 3, 6... then surely I'm right in saying 3 and 6 are in those cells, which means this is 5, which means 3, 5 and 6 are not in these cells of box 7. Which means, unless I'm going crazy, that those squares have to be 3, 5 and 6 in box 7, but I know one of these is a 1 or a 2. So it can't be. This is 1, 2, 4, 5, I think. Well, the proof is going to be in whether or not that breaks. So this is a 3. Oh, yeah, no, this might be okay. This might be okay, because now I've effectively got 3, 4 and 5 knocked out of these squares. But I've got 4 here. The 3 is going to have to go here. But that's fine, because these can be from one of these can be 1, 2, one of them can be 3, and this square can be 5, and we haven't broken the world. That's a 5 now by palindrome. That's a 6. And this digit is the one of 2 and 5 that isn't used on this modular line. Good grief. Now, this now has to include 6, doesn't it? That's a 1 and a 2 and a 6 from the row's perspective. But if this has got 3 on it, this 12 cage can't be 1, 2, 3, 6. So this is also 1, 2, 4, 5, and that's another 5. And these are from 1, 2, 4. And now I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in column 1. So this is a 5 or a 6, and it's a 6 by Sudoku. Okay, and I've now, for some reason, this is 3. This is 4, 5, 6. That might have been available for a while in a different way, but this is 3, 7, which also doesn't appear to be resolved. What about that one? That's the crucial one. I don't know. This corner digit is now 6, 7, 8 or 9. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And this digit is 6, 7, 8 or 9. These digits have to include, well, 4 has to be here now. So that's 4, that's 5. Does that help us? I don't know. I don't know is the short answer. Okay, but if this is 1, 2, 4, 5, the digits from 147 modularity on here, well, that's got to be 7, doesn't it? And the digit from 258 modularity has to be 8. And the digit from 369 modularity, now that is a different question and a more difficult question. I don't think we know the answer to that. But 7 and 8 are definitely in there. It feels like that should do something, doesn't it? But I can't see what it is. So these digits are from 369 modularity. I just don't know what they are. And I don't, is that all going to work down here? It probably does. Yeah, it does. It's exactly the same logic. That's got to have 7 and 8 on it from the 147 and the 258 sets. So these are from 369. That's not a 1 by Sudoku. Oh, I've got a 2-4 pair in the column. That's huge. So that's a 3 at the top. Is it? Oh, maybe it's not actually. Maybe it's not as... Oh no, that's quite good. That 3's good. Because this is now a 6-9 pair. So this is the 3-7-8 on the modular line. So that's a 7 or an 8, which I seem to remember from a long time ago. I was allowed to colour 7s and 8. No, I'm not. I'm only allowed to colour 8s and 9s. Oh dear. Okay. That's probably... Oh dear, what do I do then? I actually think we're quite close to cracking this, you know. That's probably famous last words, but it doesn't feel like we're a million miles away, does it? Or maybe it does. I don't know. Okay, these are from 6, 7, 8, 9, and that neither of these can be 7. So there is a 6, 8, 9 triple in box 2, and these are 2, 3, 5, and the 2 has to be here. So this is a 3. Whoopsie, this is a 3, 5 pair. Now this 2 takes a 2 out of that cell, takes a 2 out of this cell. So I've now got a 1, 4 pair in the row. And you feel that must... that can't be a 1. I've now got a 2, 4 pair in this row. This isn't a 6. Oh, so that's now a blue digit. And that must be the 6 in box 2. So this isn't 6. This isn't 6. And in this column, what have we not put in? 2 and 4. This is a 2, 4 pair, so there's no 2 here. And this is a 1, 5 pair. And then we can do the order of the 1, 5 pair. Therefore, this is not a 1. And how can this not be resolved? That's a good question. No. Hang on. I think there's going to be some triple or quadruple in one of these rows that's telling us everything. That 4 is doing a little bit of work. 4, 2. Oh, yeah, there we go. That 2 makes this green square a 1. So dark green is a 1. Which means that's a 1. Which means that's a 4 and that's a 2. Which means that's a 4 and that's a 1 and that's a 2. So 1 is down here. So this is 3 and this is 2. And this might do it. This might do it. That's the 3 in box 9. We've got 1 in one of these. So this square, well, this is a 2, 4 pair. And this still doesn't resolve this one. But if that's a 2, 4 pair, this is a 1, 6 pair. And this being a 2 is lovely. So 2, 1, 1, 6. Take 6 out of this one. And look carefully. We're just going to get left with loads of 8s and 9s. And this, I think this might be how it has to be resolved at the end of the day. But I'm not sure. What about 3? Have we got a 3 looking at this 3, 7 pair? No. Have we got... How many 2s have I got in the grid now? I should be able to get... No, I can't get all of them. I've got a 2 in one of these squares. Well, let's check 4s as well. No. Oh, that's bad news. So maybe it's not this that resolves it then, because that's a deadly pattern absent this. Ah, so maybe if I can prove that this is 8, that will show me this can't be 4. So I think I've got this the wrong way around. I think the way this disambiguates is actually from the high digit standpoint. But how? What's telling me the size of the relative size of orange and blue? Is there something? And maybe there's some Sudoku we could do. I don't know, actually. I'm quite intrigued by that. I mean, I know this digit is an 8 or a 9, don't I? And the reason we know that is that this one seems to have to be a 2 or a 4. So this is an 8 or a 9. So that's an 8-9 pair. And these squares are 5, 6 and 7. And this is not a 6 and this is not a 5. Okay, look at this column. There's a 7, 8, 9 triple. So that's a 6. This is a 5, 7 pair. I'd really, really, really like this to be resolved. But I don't know if it is. How extraordinary. We might have to colour even more diligently than I already have. Like, where's blue? Yeah, where's blue in box 3? One of those cells. That's it. That's it. Wow. So if we ask where blue is in box 3, the answer seems to be here. That combines with this. This, therefore, is blue. And the only digit common to those that will work is 8. Oh, that's done. Ah, there we go. That's what we thought might happen, and it did. So we get 9, 9, 9, 9. This now can't be 4. 8 and 4 are only 4 apart. So that does this deadly pattern at the bottom. Now, that's now 7 in the corner, so that should be a 9. Now we know this has to have 7 and 8 on it. So let's pop those in. We now know this is 9, this is 8, this is 7. This is 9, this is 6, this is 6, this is 7, this is 7, this is 5, that's a 6, this is 8, 8, this is 7, this is 7, this is 3, this is 3, this is 6, this is 3, this is 5, and the whole thing is just falling apart. This is 8, that's a something, 5 maybe, and what's that, 9 probably, right, there we go, boom, boom, that was wonderful. I'm not terribly surprised because I think I did the hardest part of it before I had to stop. Thank goodness. Oh, so the 2s are meant to be purple wherever they appear. And the 1s ended up being the darker green. Whoopsie. So 3s, wherever they are, they're meant to be lime green. 1s are meant to be dark green. 4s are not meant to be green. 6s are not meant to be green. So in every box there should just be the sort of middly digits that are unshaded. It's possibly correct, isn't it? Let's check. Oh, I've just seen something I have done wrong. Yes, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That cell needs no coloration apart from redness. Oh yeah, 4s can be... Oh, 4s. Why is... Hang on. I double click a 4 and it lights up a 5. That... What? That's truly peculiar. That was really weird. Okay, but there we go. That's a more consistent colouring, I think. Loved it. Playmaker 6174. Take a bow. The structure of this, I loved the way it was sort of. You could only conjecture. You could spot that there was the relationships, but you had to visualize it in the 2 dimensions in order to reach the conclusions. Somebody in the comments, what did they say? Every clue was needed. Mr. Menace squeezes every bit of logic from every clue. That's what it felt like. You had to use everything, and surprisingly so. It's a brilliant puzzle, that one. That is a brilliancy. Masterpiece indeed. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.